How's it going? I have the new HO Scale Golden Gate Depot Southern Pacific coach, lounge, diner, and observation car. These plastic models represent the prototype found all over the Southern Pacific Railroad from around the 1910s until the 1980s. Let's start by unboxing the car. All of the cars have the same style packaging. The label on one end is the model's label, and on the other end is the Golden Gate Depot's information. All boxes came with a plastic wrap protecting the outside. Each car is protected with a plastic cradle wrapped in a plastic sheet. The unboxing is straightforward, and none of the cars come with spare parts. However, the diner does come with a spare step detail part in case one breaks on the model. This isn't my first time taking this car out of the box. As you can see, the coupler trip pin is cut. I'll go over that later on in the video. A good look at the underbody detail with some separately applied detail and some molded parts, but overall looks really good. And before we deep dive, let's look at what Golden Gate Depot manufactured and some of the history of the prototype. Golden Gate Depot did a great job with providing most, if not all, of the paint schemes that were used on these prototypes. This includes, but not limited to, the dark olive and SP lines, daylight, solid gray, two-tone gray, golden state, UP yellow, UP two-tone, SP stainless with scarlet stripe, and some of the war advertisements for the Navy, Army, and Marines. The SP 72-foot Interurban steel coach was built around 1923 by the Pullman Company. Southern Pacific wanted to replace their aging fleet of wooden passenger cars. Their first order was 60 coaches, seating about 96 passengers each. Some people may refer to these as Harrimans, but technically that's not right. They are identified as Suburbans or subs. These cars were 72 feet in length, but coupler to coupler just a little bit over 80 feet. From their first order in 1923 to the last one in 1927, SP had a total of 75 Suburban cars. The Suburban heavyweight coaches were primarily used along the San Francisco commute service throughout its entire life, but can also be seen on trains such as the Suntan and various excursions. The years that each paint scheme operated are SP Lines Dark Olive from 1923 to 1946, SP Dark Olive 1946 to 1954, Two-Tone Gray starting in 1954, and Solid Gray in 1959 until 1985 when these cars retired. Now on to the model. We are in Bakersfield, California at the Mesa Model Railroad Museum in San Diego, California. Here's a close-up view of the interior. The windows do appear a little bubbly, better than their Harriman run from a few years ago, but still noticeable. I will be replacing these windows with clear styrene in the future. The interior is well lit and that has capacitors in there to ensure flicker-free operation. The end of the car has a nice steam line connection and air hose details. For the diaphragms, although they are good in size, I'm sad to see that they are not operable. I feel that a car of this price should be having working diaphragms. As I mentioned before, I had to cut the coupler trip pins because some of them were hitting the switches from being too low of a coupler height. The couplers are held in a spring mechanism to allow these cars to perform on tight radius turns. The air hose and steam line connection is the piece that holds the coupler box in place. Just like the Harriman run, these cars roll exceptionally well, some of the best rolling passenger cars ever made. Add to that, with these cars being very lightweight, any engine can pull multiple of these cars with ease. My friend over at tk.railroading on Instagram bought a two-tone gray version. The white stripe and lettering looks clean with no bleeding. I also purchased the Fly for Navy advertisement car. I want to say that this car was advertised during the war. I do know the Army Marines version were painted post-war in 1946. They shortly had SP lines before quickly turning into SP at the top of the car. This car, however, says Fly for Navy instead of Southern Pacific. This car has the same issues as before with the windows and the diaphragms, except this car shows some blue paint bleeding onto the white on the sides. An issue specifically with this car was the air hose on the ends were too low and was scraping on the track. One time, the air hose caught on a switch frog and derailed the entire car. I bent it a bit sideways and the problem was fixed. Onto the diner. I like the big windows. They really show the nicely painted interior. I also like the steps at the end. As mentioned before, There is a replacement step in the box in case one gets broken or lost. These steps are screwed in place and not glued in, which is really nice. The interior does bring up a question. Was the kitchen actually red? I would like to believe the kitchen would be stainless steel, but all of the photos I could find were in black and white. If you know the color of what the kitchen would be, either stainless steel or it was painted, let me know in the comments below. I would like to repaint it in the future. tk.railroading also bought a hamburger grill car. This car ran on some name trains including the San Joaquin Daylight. The silver stripe and lettering looks clean as well. Onto the lounge. The taller windows show the unique fully painted interior. A neat thing Golden Gate Depot did was the etched metal detail that are in the windows. At first, I thought they were decals, but upon closer inspection, it's etched metal, similar to what Plano sells. I also love that Golden Gate Depot added lamps on the table. It's such a neat detail that most manufacturers oversee. Onto the observation. The observation car is well done. I love the big window next to the door on the observation platform. You can better see the etched metal detail attached to the window. The car is full of them, with this detail shown on the smaller upper windows. A little history about this observation. This is a 72 TAC 0 TAC 1 observation car, specifically lettered Central Pacific, or CP. These were converted into diners by the 1930s. All of them. So post 1930s, these cars did not exist. I wanted to show how the coupler spring system works. The idea behind this system is to extend the coupler when on a tight radius turn to compensate for the non-working diaphragms and to ensure smooth operation. This system causes the gap between the cars to spread apart when pulling a load and is visually unappealing. Notice how far the coupler extends when I pull on them. On a straight section of track, the coupler extends far out, causing the coupler to look crooked. This can be clearly shown as an example here. I'm running the train in reverse, and notice how tight the diaphragms are with each other. This looks really good. In the forward direction, I'm going to stop the video on the first two Suburban cars. The first car is pulling 11 cars. Notice the gap between car 1 and 2. Going towards the end of the train, look at the gap between cars 11 and 12. If these coupler boxes were screwed into the frame, we wouldn't have this issue. I hope this video helps you decide if you want to get your own cars or not. As an SP modeler that models primarily in the Bay Area, these were a must-have. Either this option or spend $700 each on brass cars. I want to thank Golden Gate Depots for finally releasing these cars, as they are a childhood dream of mine to own. Please let me know what you think. Do you own these models? Let me know how you feel. I'm thinking about making a video on replacing the windows with styrene, and maybe even adding marker lights to one of them. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Yeah, my feeling is like, my feeling is
D something?
Yeah, like D2 and D3, which I assume are spots.
Door.
Door 2, door 3. Okay.
Need to look.
What? I don't want to look.
There's a winter one. Look,
What? I don't want to look.
there's a winter